Storybox presents Libby and Alfred's Big Fight. That evening, like every evening, Alfred and Libby's mum called,
"Children, it's time for your bath. I'll run it while you get ready."
But that evening, like every evening, Alfred and Libby were fighting. That evening was worse than other evenings. The children shouted and hit each other. Alfred grabbed Libby's doll and pulled out its hair. Libby threw Alfred's schoolbook in the bathtub. They were so busy fighting that they didn't notice the bath water overflowing. The children just had time to climb onto Alfred's bed. The water kept rising and everything around them was floating. Suddenly the window blew open in a terrible storm. Alfred's bed was washed away. Huge, scary waves nearly swallowed the children up. The sky was dark and cold. Lightning flashed and thunder crashed.
"It's all your fault. I hate you, Alfred!"
shouted Libby. Alfred threw a pillow right in his sister's face. They clung to the bed on the rough sea for several hours. Then at last they landed on a little island. Alfred pushed Libby and she fell headfirst into the sand. Alfred laughed and ran off, leaving her there on the ground. Libby screamed after him,
"Go away, Alfred! You're the worst brother in the whole world!"
Just as Libby stopped speaking, Alfred disappeared. Libby was surprised and looked around for him. It felt strange that Alfred was not there. He wasn't in front of her or behind her or hiding in the bushes. So Libby said in a loud voice,
"Great! Good riddance! Now I can explore this island in peace."
Libby set off, whistling cheerfully. All around her was a magic forest with beautiful flowers, juicy strawberries, and a family of rabbits. A pretty butterfly fluttered by, and baby birds seemed to be chirping just for her. Libby walked on smiling. She ignored the little voice inside her head that said,
"Alfred, Alfred, what happened to Alfred?"
But the little voice became louder and louder.
"Alfred, Alfred, what happened to Alfred?"
Suddenly it got dark. The rabbit family scampered off. The butterflies fluttered away, and it was as if the baby birds had never existed. Libby felt cold and tired and lonely, but most of all she was worried.
"What happened to Alfred?"
Libby began to cry softly. She was rubbing her eyes to wipe away the tears when she saw a cage. Alfred stood inside it, gripping the bars with his hands and sobbing quietly. Libby ran over to the cage.
"Alfred, Alfred, I'm here!"
Alfred smiled sadly at his sister. "I'll never get out of this cage, Libby. But you must run away and find Mum and Dad."
"There must be a way of opening the cage,"
said Libby, shaking the bars. She pulled and pushed furiously, but the cage stayed shut. Libby knelt down on the ground as close to her brother as possible. She grabbed Alfred's hand through the bars and stroked it gently. Alfred wiped a tear from Libby's eyelashes and whispered, "It will be okay, little sister. We're together now." At that very moment the cage door swung open. Alfred and Libby jumped up and ran away through the forest and down to the beach. They pushed the bed out on the water and climbed onto it. Alfred took Libby's hand. They snuggled down together among the pillows until they reached home safely. The end.